A roundup of the big Premier League news and talking points. Liverpool and Everton battling for defender. Liverpool and rivals Everton are eyeing up a move for Real Sociedad star Diego Llorente. The defender has featured in 16 matches in the La Liga this term and is believed to be worth around £26 million. Both teams are eager to bolster their defensive options during the upcoming summer transfer window, according to the Liverpool Echo. Pep Guardiola has agreed to take over as Juventus manager at the end of the season, according to sensational reports in Italy. Current boss Massimiliano Allegri looks set to leave the club at the end of the season after 5 years in the job. Allegri has led them to the Serie A title in every season under his management, but they are on the verge of exiting the Champions League after losing the first leg of their last 16 clash with Atletico Madrid 2-0. And journalist Luigi Guelpa, who works for Turin-based newspaper Il Giornale, says sources have told him that Guardiola has already agreed to replace Allegri for the next 4 years. Full story. Wolves watch. Wolverhampton Wanderers sent scouts to watch Portuguese wonderkid João Felix in the Europa League on Thursday night, according to reports. The 19-year-old has broken into Benfica's first team this season and has a host of Europe's top clubs keeping tabs on him, including Real Madrid and Juventus. But Wolves are reportedly keen to bring the teenager to the Premier League, and it's reported that scouts checked him out during Benfica's 1-0 defeat to Dinamo Zagreb. Felix didn't enjoy his best match, but he sparkled for Benfica at times this season. The attacker has scored 9 and assisted 4 in 16 Premier Liga matches for Benfica and has emerged as one of the stars of their title-chasing team. Wolves scouts were joined in the stands in Croatia by representatives from Manchester United, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Manchester City, Fulham, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen, AC Milan, Napoli, Inter Milan, Sampdoria, Sassuolo, Bordeaux, Lille and Slavia Prague. Spending spree. Manchester City are chasing a left-back, a holding midfielder, plus 2 more additions. The Spaniard, whose side are chasing an historic quadruple haul of trophies this season, said, "I don't know what's going to happen, but we are thinking about the chance to find somebody in that position, left-back. Gareth Bale, there are 3 or 4 positions I think we have to try to look for and some ideas we have. I don't know in the end what is going to happen, but it is an option to buy a left-back, a holding midfielder. We are going to try to get in other positions we are thinking about. I'm not going to tell you which positions. I don't want to tell you the players. Guardiola will target England and Leicester ace Ben Chilwell after deciding he cannot trust Benjamin Mendy to remain fit." The France left-back cost City £52 million when he joined from Monaco in July 2017, but his switch to the Etihad has proved a nightmare after a string of serious injuries. Full story. Teenage target. Wolves are the latest club to be linked with 16-year-old Birmingham City sensation Romello Mitchell. Manchester United, Liverpool, Southampton and Leeds United have all been linked with a move for the highly regarded teenage striker. The Manchester United injury news. Wolves fans were not expecting a report in today's Daily Mail claims that Wolves are keen to snap up the youngster from their neighbours as interest grows in his potential. He has already been watched by Liverpool earlier this season and has been prolific in the Blues' youth teams. Bale deal done. Manchester United and Gareth Bale have already closed an agreement for his transfer that has left Real Madrid's plans to sign Chelsea's Eden Hazard in tatters. That's according to Spanish journalist Eduardo Inda. Gareth Bale's future is again the subject of speculation with the summer transfer window approaching. The Welshman has struggled to gain a starting spot under Santiago Solari this season and was jeered by Los Blancos fans during their El Clasico defeat to Barcelona on Saturday. The transfer news that West Brom fans won't want to hear, but according to respected Spanish journalist Eduardo Inda, Bale already has an agreement in place with the Red Devils. Bale's reported decision to join United has now angered Real Madrid's hierarchy as they were hoping to use the forward in negotiations to try and sign Chelsea's Eden Hazard. There is a tremendous anger and in the club he is sure he has closed an agreement with Manchester United, betraying Real Madrid who wanted to sell it to Chelsea to lower the risk of the hazard operation. They want to sell for €120 million, £104 million. Full story. Shock exit. Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool celebrates after scoring his team's fifth goal during the Premier League match between Liverpool and Watford in February. Image, photo by Clive Brunskill. Getty Images. Virgil van Dijk has been tipped to leave Liverpool if they fail to win the Premier League. Liverpool failed to reclaim top spot from Manchester City after being held to a goalless draw by Merseyside rivals Everton on Sunday. Van Dijk, who joined from Southampton for £75 million last year, has been a major part of the Reds' title push. The Dutchman put in another stellar performance as Liverpool failed to break down Everton. "What a colossus this man is," Crooks told the BBC. In the white-hot heat of a Merseyside derby, Virgil van Dijk was simply immense. Whatever needed to be done was completed with composure and style. On a day when Liverpool's strikers looked more like the Three Stooges than the Red Arrows, Van Dijk took it upon himself to try and score the goals as well as defend his own penalty area. The problem for Liverpool is simply this: if they don't win the title this season, the chances are Real Madrid or Barcelona will come knocking, probably both. And few turn them down. Full story. Manchester United open talks. Bruno Fernandes celebrates after scoring during the UEFA Europa League round of 32 second-leg football match between Villarreal CF and Sporting CP. Image, Pau Barrena, AFP. Getty Images. Manchester United have opened talks with £50 million rated transfer target Bruno Fernandes, according to reports in Portugal. Fernandes looks certain to leave Sporting Lisbon in the summer and is on the radar of a number of huge clubs including Liverpool and Chelsea. But according to Portuguese publication A Bola, Manchester United have made the first move to get the transfer over the line. The paper claims that the Red Devils have made contact with Sporting and have opened talks with the player over a possible transfer. Fernandes' contract release clause is €100 million, £86 million, but it is believed Sporting would let the 24-year-old go for around £50 million. Werner, watch. Liverpool have asked RB Leipzig to be kept informed regarding Timo Werner, as the situation surrounding the Germany striker's future continues to get messy. Werner, 23, has angered his current club by agreeing terms over a deal with Bayern Munich, despite no talks between the two clubs. The striker's agent, Karl-Heinz Forster, has negotiated a deal with the Bundesliga champions, with Werner seemingly deciding that his future is best served at the Allianz Arena. Werner's contract expires with RBL in 2020, but they have no intention of allowing him to run down his deal and depart on a free in 16 months' time. And they are angry that Werner's camp have made the apparent decision to force the move this summer. Full story. Big development. Arsenal's chances of signing Adrien Rabiot this summer have dramatically increased as Barcelona have ended their pursuit of the Frenchman, according to reports. Rabiot is set to leave Paris Saint-Germain on a free transfer at the end of the season after failing to nail down a place in the first team under Thomas Tuchel. Barcelona were favourites to land the midfielder, and were strongly linked with him in the January transfer window. But the deal never materialized, and Barcelona ended up splashing the cash to land Ajax's Frenkie de Jong, who will link up with his new teammates at the end of the season. Full story. Holgate blow. Everton have no plans to sell Mason Holgate in the summer, despite reported interest from the Championship. The 22-year-old found himself firmly part of Marco Silva's plans at the start of the campaign as injuries and suspensions left the Blues a little short in defensive areas, and that will still be the case in the future, as the Echo understands the manager is still a fan of Holgate, despite West Bromwich Albion reportedly showing an interest in signing him permanently. The former Barnsley man was called upon in the opening game of the 2018-19 term following a red card for Phil Jagielka, and kept his place for some weeks as injuries kept Michael Keane and Yerry Mina out of action. Full story. Hammers want Millwall star. Millwall to West Ham is not a well-trodden path when it comes to transfers in football. The rivalry between the two East London clubs is one of the most long-standing and most bitter in English football, and clashes between the two sides are often fractious affairs. From injuries to what the opposition think of Aston Villa. From player ratings to the full thoughts of the manager. The links below show you all the latest Aston Villa stories you need to be reading. Asterisk discover how we rated the players during the last game with our player ratings. Asterisk we will keep you updated with the latest injury developments and news. Asterisk keep an eye on the fixtures for the next run of games coming up, but West Ham are now being linked with a surprise move this summer for Millwall fullback Maitland Romeo, as a potential long-term replacement for Pablo Zabaleta. The 34-year-old is out of contract this summer at West Ham, having signed a 2-year contract with the Hammers when joining on a free transfer in 2017. Full story. Tammy to Germany. Rumors are circulating that Bundesliga side RB Leipzig will bid £20 million for Tammy Abraham this summer. The Chelsea youngster is on loan at Aston Villa this season and has been a huge hit with Villa fans. To date he has scored 21 goals in 29 games, and in the January transfer window had the option of a move to Wolves. He rejected it to stay on loan at Villa Park. The Sun are leading the rumor mill and suggest that the 21-year-old could become the latest English youngster to try their hand abroad. All the latest Villa news. Rejection predicted. Team Jack's future. Leipzig are preparing themselves to lose Timo Werner at the end of the season, with Liverpool and Manchester United ready to snap him up. Villa's only hopes of an extended stay for Abraham would be if they were to achieve promotion to the Premier League. Then they would find themselves firmly in the running for his signature should Chelsea decide to sell.